So I run a company over in Utah. I got about 80 people right now. Our top line revenue last year was just over $10 million. And I've never actually had a true HR person within the company. I have somebody that does payroll and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But with 80 people on my team now, if I hired an HR person, how would they help me grow my company and make us more effective to be able to operate better than where we are right now?
I think you're asking the perfect question at the level that you're at. That was the level we brought in our first HR person and the level that we brought in our first CFO. And both of those were positions I was not used to leading. I'm an entrepreneur, leave the cave, kill something, drag it home. So HR wasn't something I really give a crap about, except as long as we got the people on and got it hired and got the work done. And CFO was, okay, somebody count the money and pay the bills and we're okay, right? But it turns out that people are actually thinking about those two spaces while you're running the business. It does cause the business to run more efficiently because it lowers the number of mistakes you make, number one. But number two, you can maximize some of the investments you're doing. So what you don't want is corporate America crap and with HR directors or CFOs, and that's where everyone starts bowing to them. They are there to serve the company, not the company serve them. So if the bean counters and the rule makers in HR interrupt business all the time, then they're not doing their job. Their job is to serve the business and to make the business run better. So when I brought in our first HR person, mainly his job was recruiting and helping us in the hiring process. He didn't do the only hiring, and today our HR team still does not do the only hiring. They'll do the initial interview, they'll do the recruiting, and then they'll maybe even a second interview, and then they'll sit the person down with what we call the hiring leader, meaning the person that's leading the area that's doing the hiring, and they're going to be working for that guy or that gal, and that person's going to spend a lot more time interviewing the candidate because they're making the decision, do they want to pay them and have them on their team? And so HR does not recruit, hire, and deliver someone to a business unit here who the business unit has never met, and we hope it works out. No, that's a bad idea. That's corporate America crap. The other thing HR does not do is run a bunch of rules around the company that shuts down anybody from doing anything because we're trying to accomplish some kind of bullcrap HR program, okay? No, HR is here to make life better for everyone and easier for everyone when it comes to the human resources. Today at Ramsey, and at your stage, you're going to start to add some stuff like this. HR is the one that helps us manage our health program, our health insurance, and they're the ones that communicate getting signed up for that and getting signed up for your 401k and whatever other benefits we have. We'll have different things happen through the year, and HR will be the cause of the, you can get your flu shot or you can get whatever. And they just call and get somebody to come over and do that and just make it, things that make it easier on the team is their job. But their job is not to be running around flexing. And some companies, the HR does that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Can I ask one follow-up question on that? So when you hired, did you go after somebody with lots of experience, or did you go after somebody that was maybe a little more green behind the ears, or, new at it, but hungry, going with the ideal team player standpoint where... Yeah.
No, I went with a...
There's a lot of stuff out there.
You could do either one, and to answer your question, though, the one we hired was a guy named Rick Perry, and Rick had been with Procter & Gamble for many, many years. And so he knew all the corporate things not to do, the crap, right? But he also had a heart for us and for small business and for what we were doing. And so he helped us a lot with our recruiting processes, with our hiring processes, with things like job descriptions. And, we were just kind of loosey-goosey, and he tightened up how our excellence. He helped us with our excellence, but he knew that stuff. He could do that lifting with his little finger. It wasn't hard for him at all because he'd been there, done that, and he stayed with us until we retired. The first guy we hired stayed here until he retired. He retired probably 5 years ago, I guess now, and but he was here forever, and he's a great guy, still a good friend, and but yeah, you need to outline what it is you want them to do and what it is you don't want them to do. Like I just gave you all the corporate crap that they're not going to do, right? You're not taking over our company. You're just going to be helping us with these things, okay? And everyone here does it because in corporate America, everybody is scared of HR. They bow to them, and management's scared of them in a lot of cases. So you don't want that. And you don't want, with a CFO, you don't want people scared of the budget committee. The budget committee told me I couldn't do this. What the crap is that? What's a budget committee? I'm the budget committee. No, you're freaking doing it. What are you talking about? And these are the kinds of conversations we've had at Ramsey. So we do have a budget committee, but it understands its job is to serve, not to limit and be the business interruption department. And so that's the kind of stuff you have to fight against in your world and in my world, and I have had to do. But all of that said, 80 people, $10 million, you need to start talking about your first good HR hire and let them blend into your culture, not your culture blend into their rules. And the same thing with your first hire on your CFO. And you're doing a good job, Jason. Congratulations. $10 million, man, 80 people. You're a stud. That's awesome. So proud of you.